Hello, 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 everyone. We are back for take two because the universe did not want me to talk to you about being financially free and how you can do that. So, welcome back to Financially Free Fridays, and I am Financially Free D. And today we are going to be talking about the wealth building blueprint, credit, passive income, and creating a legacy. So if that interests you, then you want to come on in and we actually have a Q&A. This is Q&A Fridays. So drop your questions down below. Anything you have about personal credit, business credit, making money, budgeting money, anything that you want to know, how to build a business from 0 to 100K in less than 12 months, I am here for you. So I am Financially Free D, and I want to ask you, what if you could build a legacy for your family without using any of your personal money, right? Without using any of your personal money, what could you do with $100,000 that you could use to invest, build a business, create passive income streams? As we know, every day I vote for financial freedom. And we just had a very, 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 very important day here in America. And a lot of people are divided and are feeling like, what do we do next? Do we leave America? Or what's going to happen in our society? You know, some people are feeling like, yes, the money train is about to roll in. What are we going to, what do we do next? So wherever you are, just know that you have choice, right? So you have the choice to build financial freedom. So we are going to talk about leveraging credit to do so today. So number one, we're going to talk about why credit limits matter. So a lot of you who are watching me may feel like credit is money that we have to pay back. So why do I need it? How am I going to utilize it and leverage it to make more money? So number one, you want to ensure that you have enough capital to deploy into whatever venture that you have. So if you are someone who started a new business, then you need to have enough capital to sustain that business. If you are a person who is into investments, do you know that you can invest with credit? If you are a person who's saying, D, I just want to buy some property, I just want to buy some land, I want to buy some real estate for my family, so we always have somewhere to live and we can pass down generational wealth, you can use credit to do that too. But your credit limits do matter. There is a big difference between $5,000 and $50,000. $5,000 may buy you a used car. $5,000 may buy you a plot of land, but $50,000 will buy you an entire house in certain parts of America. And in that house, you can start to get cash flow. So you can have someone live in the house. So you purchase the house with other people's money, none of your money, and you start to rent out that house and you get cash flow. And you make sure that you get cash flow more than what you're actually having to pay back in credit. So limits matter. Limits open the doors for you to be able to have higher purchasing power. So, like I said, $5,000 and $50,000 are two different things. Now imagine if you have 4 credit limits of $5,000, or if you have 4 credit limits of $50,000. Now you have $100,000. And what could you do with $100,000? I'll let you know what I did with $100,000. So just in case you guys don't know my story, I used to be a 6-figure financial analyst in corporate America. When I left my job, I left with no income at all. No income, no plan. Saved some money and left. Credit score was 645. And I knew that I wanted to make a change. I knew that I wanted to build a legacy for myself and my family. I knew that I wanted to be financially free. So I increased my credit score from 645 to 800 in 90 days. In 90 days, I went from 645 to about 745 in 30 days, 30 to 45 days. So increasing that credit score then allowed me to increase my credit limits. So at the time, I only had credit limits of, I think the highest credit limit I had is about 15,000 as a limit. That was the highest I had at the time. So the first thing that I did was increase my credit limits from 15,000 to $25,000. That was the very first thing that I did. Once I was able to increase my personal credit limits on the personal side, then I was able to transfer that over into the business side of things because I had something called comparable credit, right? So having comparable credit allowed me to obtain $100,000 at 0% interest in less than 6 months. I then flipped that $100,000 into a $100,000 business, revenue generating profit. And then I turned that $100,000 into $1 million net worth of assets, land, property, resorts, investing in tech companies, and all of these different things. So, what having higher credit limits can do, it can speed up your process. It can allow you to open doors quicker, especially during this time where unfortunately a lot of people are suffering. So a lot of people are selling at a discount. True story, guys. I am in the process of negotiating a investment deal that last year these people wanted to charge me $40,000 more than what they are off allowing or putting on the table now. So why is that? Because last year people had more money, so they didn't feel like they needed to sell. They just held on to things even if they weren't worth it or if they were. But now that people need more money, they are selling at a discount. They are selling at a discount. Stocks are on sale at a discount. Land, properties. So if you are watching me and you are a real entrepreneur or a real business owner or a real person working in corporate America saying, hey, it's time to go to the next level, then you want to secure as much funding as possible because you will be able to acquire, especially in this time frame, double what you were able to do last year. So it is a very important. This is a true story, guys. These people wanted to charge me $40,000 more just a year ago. Now they're willing to sell at a discount. And how does that benefit me? Guess what? I have available capital ready at any time for me to be able to deploy. Oh, you need X amount of dollars? Here you go. I have access to other people's money. So when you have higher credit limits, you can get to $100,000 quicker. You can get to $250,000 quicker. You can get to $500,000 quicker. How many $50,000 limits does it take to get to $250,000? That's only 5. How many $100,000 limits does it take you to get to $1 million? That's only 10. How many $25,000 limits does it take you to get to 100,000? That's only 4. That's not a lot. That is not a lot at all. You all watching probably have more credit cards and loans, and you probably have a mortgage, you probably have an auto loan, you probably have a few credit cards that you're not using to make you money. You're not leveraging it. You're not using it to create passive income. You're not using it to play Monopoly. That's what I'm doing right now, guys. I'm playing Monopoly. I'm playing cash flow. Let's acquire as much as we can while things are on sale, while people are willing to sell at a discount, while not a lot of people have the available income. For those of us who planned and strategized and waited for this moment, it is time for us to fire off and activate. If you have an 800 credit score, you are not late. If you have a 750 credit score, you're not late. If you have a $100,000 job, you are not late. All you got to do is put the pieces to the puzzle together. And like I told you guys, I did these things in 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months. These are my real numbers. And remember, I started from zero. I didn't have anybody teaching me. I didn't have anybody teaching me in the beginning, right? And I didn't even have an income. So credit limits matter because they allow you to scale up quick, all right? So if you guys are watching, put some comments, put some questions down in the chat. This is a Q&A. So if you want your questions answered, drop them down below. Number 2, how to use credit for passive income. I just told you guys. So for me, when I first started out, when my first $100,000, I only needed like 25 for my business. So I had another $75,000 to deploy into other things. So what did I do? I started looking for deals, deal flow. Okay, are there businesses that are good businesses, but they don't have money? So can I give them money for their business for equity in their business? Can I give them money for equity? So that means that I'm not doing any of the work. I'm not working at all. All I'm doing is giving you money and you are paying me a return. That is the best way to use credit. All you had to do is vet. As you guys know, I'm a former auditor and financial analyst. So of course, I'm going to look at the numbers. I'm going to make sure it makes sense. Is this business actually making money? Can it be more profitable? Do we just need to infuse some capital into certain areas like marketing or whatever to increase the profit margins? If that is the case, then guess what? I'm going to deploy some money into that business and I'm going to create passive income. You need $20,000. Okay, I need X amount percentage in your business as equity, right? So that is the number one way that you can create passive income without having to create anything, without having to manage anything, without having to do anything but use your capital. That's number one. Number two, I just talked about it. Acquiring real estate, acquiring land, acquiring hard assets. What is the difference between a hard asset and a paper asset? Paper assets are stocks, right? So stocks, bonds, things that you trade, you really can't physically trade that in and get something in return, right? So those are paper assets. But hard assets means I can literally go knock on this door. I can literally touch it, feel it. So if anything ever goes wrong, I can always sell it. I can always sell it no matter what. So for me, my second favorite is I want to invest in things that are hard assets, like multifamily properties, like resorts, like things that maybe other people manage them, right? So for me, I'm going to hire a management team. So I don't have to do any work. All I have to do is purchase the asset and you are going to pay me every single month. That is truly passive income. That is truly passive income where you don't have to market. You don't have to come on this social media. You don't have to go on Facebook. You don't have to go on Instagram. You don't have to go on YouTube. You don't have to go anywhere. You literally just put your money into something and you have someone else run it and you get a return. That is true passive income, not semi-passive. That is true passive income. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to invest in a multifamily property, or I'm going to invest in a resort or something that other people run, and you give me a return. You give me a return annually, quarterly, monthly, whatever it is, right? So another passive income, this is what I call semi-passive. So semi-passive income is when you actually have to do work. So you may create something one time, but you actually have to market it, or you actually have to, do things that require it to sell, that will allow it to sell. So to me, that's semi-passive income. So like digital products, ebooks, and vending machines, and let's see, what else do we have? Things like Turo, Airbnb. That stuff is like semi-passive because you still have to do some sort of work. Now for Airbnb, you can do the same thing. You can have somebody else manage it. So then it becomes a completely passive thing. Same thing with vending machines. You can have someone else run the route for you and it be completely passive. But a lot of times, if you want to get the highest return or you want to have the highest profit margin, then you are going to do those things yourself, right? So leveraging credit to do that is, hey, guess what? I have $100,000 available to me. So I can purchase about 2 to 3 assets. Each asset can be between $10,000 and $30,000. Then I'm looking at what are the profit margins. So let's say I purchase an asset or passive income that, let's say I could purchase it with a 0% interest business credit card, and it's at 0% interest for 12 months, right? So all I'm paying is principal, 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 meaning whatever that monthly payment is. So let's say I purchased something for $5,000 and the monthly payment is maybe like $200 a month. You just have to make sure that you are getting double whatever your payment is. So if my payment's 200, I'm getting 400. It'll be amazing if you get 600 or $1,000. But that's the name of the game. It's like I said, it's like playing Monopoly. You want to acquire as many things that don't require your time or much of your time, but still pay you money. So you want to be able to make money in your sleep. You want to say, okay, no matter if I go on vacation, no matter if I don't want to wake up and do this today, I'm still getting paid off of this asset, right? So that is how you use credit for passive income. Passive income is one of the best things that you can do right now. So that way you can diversify your time and you can focus on things that you will make more money. So you want to focus on the $100,000 task. You don't want to focus on the $1,000 task or the $10,000 task, but you still want that money. You should have several streams of income. So you want to make sure, okay, I have some sort of real estate property or some sort of land that I'm renting out and I'm getting cash flow. Okay, I'm invested in some sort of business or some sort of startup where I'm getting cash flow. Okay, I also have a business that I run or someone else runs and I get income off of that. And if you're going to stay at your job because you love your job, it's amazing, then you now have 4 streams of income because now you have that job. Then you want to figure out by the end of this year, how do I get between 4 and 6 streams of income? So incomes can also be dividend stocks that pay you. I have ETFs that pay me every single month, right? So things they don't have to be things that are paying you $10,000 a month, but all the little things add up, and you can use credit to acquire all of these things. You can use credit to acquire stocks. You can use credit to acquire crypto, and you can use credit to acquire land and acquire real estate and to invest in other businesses, right? So this is all things that I'm going to be talking about in our Secure the Bag challenge, which starts on November 18th. 5 ways in 5 days to secure the bag. I'm literally going to give you guys the blueprint of how I started from zero. And when I say zero, I mean leaving my 6-figure job with no income, no business, no plan, 645 credit score, trying to figure it out with a charge off and a maxed out credit card, high utilization. I literally started from the bottom, right? And in 12 months, flipped that whole entire thing. Got $250,000 in credit. I got $100,000 of that in less than 6 months. Then I used that to my benefit. I learned to leverage. Leverage is the name of the game. You don't acquire this credit and go do crazy stuff. You acquire the credit and you go find ways to make more money. You should have some short-term things that pay you monthly, and then you should have some long-term. That's the generational wealth right there. That's the legacy. Long-term. I don't need you to pay me right now. I don't need you to pay me right now. Where did the guy who wrote In the Club by 50 Cent, where he went wrong? They told this guy, here, let me offer you a back end deal where you get paid on every single sale. He said, no, I want my money front. That still to this day, I think is 50 Cent's biggest song ever. How many millions and millions and millions of dollars did this guy miss out on because he wanted to get paid up front? So you should have a short-term, mid-term, long-term plan with your credit and your wealth building strategy. I have short-term. things that I need to pay me right now, cash flow. I need it monthly. Then I have some midterm things. Let me work on this for 6 months, a year, however long, and then allow it to pay off. Then I have very long-term things that I want this to pay me when I'm ready to retire. I want to retire not having to go back to work, right? So that is how you should strategize using your credit and building wealth. Okay. So again, that's what I'm going to be talking about in the Secure the Bag Challenge. First day, day number 1, we are mastering personal credit. So how to remove those negative items, how to increase those credit scores, how to increase those credit limits. What do we need? Somebody put it down in the chat. Comparable credit. So we need those limits up. We need those limits all the way up. That's day number 1. Day number 2, we're going over how are you going to structure this business entity. So if you are a 6-figure income earner, we know who we just got in office. Let's be honest. He is in favor of corporations, of businesses. So guess what? It's time to go get a business. It is time to really scale up your business so you can benefit from this next 4 years and what is about to happen. Don't be one of the people who got left behind during the pandemic in 2020 when people were making millions of dollars, right? So I'm not saying we're going back to those times, but what I'm saying is you have to recognize where we are in the economy. So guess what? How are we going to properly structure that business? How are we going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars on taxes, even as a person who's not a billionaire? I'm a person who did it for my 2023 taxes. Trust me, structure your business properly and you won't even have to worry about making millions of dollars, because it's not always about how much money you make. It's really more about how much money you keep, right? So how do you figure out how to keep your money, or how to properly structure things to keep your money? And a lot of times that's through how much taxes you pay. And if you are a 6-figure income earner paying 22% in taxes, 24% in taxes, this is for you. If you do not have a business entity by the end of this year, then shame on you. Shame on you, because you are giving away a lot of money. So that's day number 2. Day number 3, we're going over grants, which is other people's money you don't have to pay back. Other people's money you don't have to pay back. So we're talking about the $25,000 that kept me afloat when I first started my business and I didn't have any income for 5 months. So guys, not only did I make $100,000 in my first year in business, I didn't make it until towards the end of the year. I didn't get my first client until I was 5 months in business. I don't tell that part of the story. So guess what? The grants helped to sustain me, because I told you I don't use my personal money. So while I was acquiring my business credit in that 6 months, getting to that $100,000, guess what? The other people's money that I did not have to pay back is what kept me living the same quality of life. My quality of life did not go down. So that's day number 3. Day number 4, we are going over how to acquire $100,000 in business credit at 0% interest. Why is that important? 0% interest allowed me 2 years to build my business, which allowed me to be profitable. A lot of people say, yeah, I make $1 million, but how much did you actually spend to make that $1 million? A lot of people say, yeah, I make 6 figures, but how much did you spend to make 6 figures? Right? So you got to think about that. So having 0% interest is a game changer. And not only having 0% interest, having access to lines of credit and loans at low interest rates. My lines of credit and my loans is the same amount of interest that people are paying on mortgages, which is unheard of, right? So having those right interest rates, working with the right banks, relationship banking is what I do. I talk to you guys about that all the time. All banks are not created equal. All financial institutions are not created equal. So you have to know who to work with in order to get things on your terms. Okay, so that is day number 4. And day number 5 is the granddaddy of them all. That's when you know you've reached the pinnacle, when you can acquire your credit and turn it into cash. How do we turn credit into cash? How did I turn credit into cash? Number one, first thing I did before I even made any real money in my business, I took my credit and I leveraged it and invested in other businesses that paid me quarterly. Then I took my credit and invested in a resort. Then I took my credit and I bought land. And then I took my credit and started building homes. Then I took my credit and started building new businesses, investing in other businesses. And guess what? These are all short-term, mid-term, long-term things that are going to pay me for the rest of my life, because I'm not going to sell. I'm only going to sell if it only makes sense, because the profit is so ridiculous that I can't turn it down. So you should be planning short-term, mid-term, long-term. That's how money works. You need your short-term to sustain your regular everyday life. You need your mid-term to help you get to your long-term. Your midterm should be helping you get to your long-term. So your midterm should be that extra amount of money or extra amount of income or extra amount of revenue coming in that allows you to stack and save. Because remember, I told you, it's not just about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. I am a big proponent of that. I am very good with keeping my money. Okay. And then number 3 is the long term. So these are the things that you make the heavy investment up front, but you get all of the return on the back end because you were willing to do what other people were not. Okay. So those are the 5 days of the Secure the Bag 5 ways and 5 days to secure the bag challenge that starts on November 18th. So guys, get in there because we are going straight to the bank. All right. Now, number 3, building a financial legacy. So what does it mean to build a financial legacy, right? So what you are going to be thinking about is, what is your legacy? What is your long-term goal? So I talked to you guys about short-term. I talked to you guys about midterm. What is your long-term goal? How can I leverage my credit to purchase things that are going to pay me long-term or are going to increase in equity, increase in value over time? So what are those types of things? Those are real estate. I'm going to scream it till I'm blue in the face. Real estate domestically and real estate internationally. I have real estate, both. More real estate internationally, actually, right? So investing in things, using your credit for long-term generational wealth, right? So what else? Real estate. What else do we have? Being able to put assets into a trust fund if you have children, or if you're the rich auntie, you may not have children like me. So you want to acquire as many, like right now for me, I'm playing Monopoly. How many multifamily properties can I purchase and put those into a trust that is protected? If anyone were to ever try to sue me, or if anyone were to ever try to penetrate my wealth, for example, a lot of people talk about prenups and all of these kinds of things, right? You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about a significant other taking something that's in a trust because you don't own the trust. So guess what? They not take it from you, right? So these are long-term, these are wealth building strategies that you all should be thinking about. What am I doing long-term? Okay. What am I doing long-term to build wealth? Am I acquiring a business? How many of you all know that there's SBA funding available? But guess what? You have to have your stuff in order, your ducks in a row. There's community advantage programs. But guess what? You have to have your ducks in a row. But all of these different programs will lend millions of dollars to you. So you have the ability to create something that is going to be extremely profitable down the line. So I talk a lot about 0% interest business credit cards because that is my favorite product. There's nothing that can compare to that for me. However, if we are talking about acquiring things that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, then you want to structure and put yourself in the position to get things like SBA funding, community advantage funding. These things will allow you to purchase commercial buildings. How many people want to do, different event spaces or studios or hair beauty salons, beauty suites, all kinds of different things? If you're in the construction world or if you're in the trucking world, parking areas where people can park their trucks. All of these things are businesses that cost money up front, but they are going to pay you forever. And they are passive income because once you acquire a lot, you're not doing anything. You have an attendant to watch over it, maybe security to watch over it, allow people to buy a pass. You don't have to be there. That is the ultimate jackpot of passive income. So you want to think about all of these different things when you are talking about using credit to create passive income, generational wealth, and legacy, right? Are you properly structured, right? You can pay for life insurance, right? So if you're watching and you're building, hopefully you have life insurance and you can utilize that life insurance to build wealth. And it can be a part of your business and it can be a business expense. And you can use credit to do it. How many people knew that? So there's so many different ways that you can build wealth, but do you have your foundation? Everybody wants to go to 1,000, but you haven't even mastered the foundation. So that is why Secure the Bag is so important, because it's your foundation. Do you have your personal credit together? In America, credit is king. Cash is king, but credit is king in America. Do you have your personal credit in order? Your personal credit is what opens or closes doors for almost everything for you. Unless you are so wealthy that your name carries weight. And all you got to do is say, I'm a Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? If you're not that, then you need to get your personal credit in order. Is your personal credit score at least above 720 at the very least? 720 is decent. 760 and above is where you need to be. 800 is where it's at. Where are your credit limits? If you have an 800 credit score, every last single line of credit that you have, whether it's a credit card, whatever it is, should be $25,000 and above. If it is not, you are missing out, because ultimately you want to move away from personal. Everything should be out of your personal name. You should not have any cars, any homes, anything in your personal name, any credit, barely any credit in your personal name. Everything should be being built on the business side, especially with this regime in office, right? So you need to make sure that you have your business entity set up properly. Are you in a low risk industry? What is your business name? How is it operating? Do you have an operating agreement? Do you have the proper documentation that you need to be legitimate on paper? Do you have business bank accounts? Do you have a Dun & Bradstreet number? Do you have an EIN number that coincides with the same information that is with your state filing? If any of your information is off, that is why you are getting denied. So is your business properly structured? Do you have all the things that you need to be able to leverage other people's money? Next, once your business is set up, you qualify for grants. Do you know where to get the grants that not everybody's talking about? Not the stuff that's on the internet, not the stuff that millions of people are going after the exact same thing. But do you know how to find grants that nobody knows about? I told you guys, I got that $25,000 grant one day after I legitimately put my business on paper. I wasn't even really a business owner. I was technically, but not really, because I knew where to go get the money where other people were not there. It was myself and a couple of other people. Nobody else showed up. So guess what? We all got $25,000, right? That's other people's money you don't have to pay back. Then, do you know how to acquire business credit cards at 0% interest? Not only that, do they have balance transfers? That is a key point. And that is how you pay 0% interest forever. That is a strategy. But do you know how to do it? Do you even know how to acquire them? Do you know how to qualify? Do you know not to just walk to Wells Fargo and ask for a business credit card? Mel, are you working with the right banks that are going to benefit you and your industry and the type of business you are? Number 5, how to turn credit into cash. Now that I've spent this time acquiring other people's money, because I'm using my credit like an asset. My credit is an asset. It's the biggest asset I have. My credit has allowed me to create $1 million net worth. If it wasn't for my credit, I wouldn't be here. Even when I was a 6-figure financial analyst at the largest privately held company in the world, I didn't have $1 million net worth. Nowhere near it, nowhere close to it. It's probably a negative net worth, honestly, because I had a car note, I had a house note, I had all these things, right? So if that's you and you're watching me, you need to get a checklist and make sure your house is in order. Once you have done those 5 things, which are the first 4 things are the foundation. Number 5, turning credit into cash. That's the next level. That is the next level. You can make millions of dollars off of that. And it will take time, but you use that as an asset. So that is what I'm talking about, guys. Everything that I'm saying, I have receipts for. We're talking about purchasing properties at $75,000 and turning them into $250,000 immediately. We're talking about buying properties with 100% returns and profit. We're talking about investing in companies that are going to be worth billions of dollars in the next 5 years, all with credit. These are things that I've done and I am currently doing, and you don't stop. So you have to master the foundation, and then you get to the next level. If you're sitting waiting on the sidelines, you're missing out. If you're saying, I don't know, I don't think I should use credit to learn to do these things. If you do not manage your money poorly now, you're not going to manage your money poorly when you have so much more on the line. I am a proven testament of that. When I was given more, I just did more with it. I didn't all of a sudden go crazy and mismanage and fall apart. My life has changed drastically in 3 years. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And that is what I'm teaching you guys in the Secure the Bag 5-day challenge. I am literally teaching you how to go from 0 to 100K, not just in credit, but also in building businesses, also in building passive income, also in acquiring other people's money that you don't have to pay back. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Literally, this is the challenge. Secure the Bag, 5 ways in 5 days. So if you want to join me, it is November 18th through November 22nd. Secure your seat now while the prices are low, and you get a free entrance into my membership program where we are literally fixing credit live, getting everybody into the 800 Club. You have access. Once you purchase your Secure the Bag ticket, you join the membership for free. You get free entrance into the membership, where I'm giving you the credit templates you need to fix your credit so you don't have to pay a credit repair agency. I'm giving you exactly how you need to set up your business, and there's someone that will be there that could do it for you. All you have to do is pay your state fees. They are not going to charge. I also have, let me see, what else? I'm giving away the banks on the personal side that you need to get your credit limits to $25,000. So all of these things are a part of the secure the bag. So when you purchase a ticket, now we are still on the pre-sale price, which is only $47, and you get entrance into the Credit to Freedom membership program, where we are fixing credit live all the way up until the Secure the Bag challenge, right? So I gave one person, one of my clients, one strategy. She literally went from about a 680 credit score to 800 in 30 days. Okay, so check it out. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'm going to put the link in the comment sections down below. If you guys are watching, if you want to join us, you definitely want to join before time is up and the prices go up, or you completely miss it. But we will be live November 18th through November 22nd. I'm going to be talking to you guys about how you can secure the bag. We are going to be doing action items, not just talking about it. We're going to do it. So I am Financially Free D, and this has been Financial Freedom Fridays. Again, guys, remember every Friday I'm answering question live. So drop your questions down below. You can drop them while we're watching. You can drop them before we actually go live. I'm here to answer whatever you want to know for free 99. So it has been great. I wish you a Financial Freedom Friday. Every day I vote for financial freedom. That's who I voted for. Okay, bet on yourself. And I am Financially Free D. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.